Hi, I'm Karen Hansen. I'm a parishioner here at St. Catherine Drexel, and we're at St. Francis. I'm also the mixed choir director here at St. Francis. My day is the 23rd day of the book, and it's the Last Supper. After reading Matthew Kelly's reflection on the Last Supper, I realized that we are an obstinate people, not really listening or taking the advice of professionals, professors, teachers, doctors, our parents, etc. And we are pretty much stuck on ourselves, letting our own thoughts, ways, and habits get in the way of taking our medicine. Is it my way or the highway? That is the message. Is that the message we are giving? Looking at myself, I know that I am not perfect and pretty selfish when it comes to giving of myself, especially giving of my time. Jesus gave us everything. He gave everything for us. When I'm at church, I see the crucifix, the tabernacle, the altar, and how each is interrelated. And Jesus was crucified, died, was buried in a tomb, and rose from the dead. Then the statues of Mary and Joseph remind me of how important family is and how listening to the will of God is in each life. I see the stained glass windows depicting the history of our Catholic faith through the saints and the events. And I see the priest, and the people serving, and the people who have come together to worship God, and pray and listen to the Word, sing praises, and to take part in the Eucharist, which is the source and summit of our faith. And this is my focus, the presence of Jesus. So a few years ago, I was at this church with my two granddaughters because I needed to get something prepared for the choir. And after that, the girls wanted to walk around the church, and they were inquisitive about the things they saw. And then we came to the altar, and they asked, "What is the table for?" Well, I said, Jesus and his disciples had a meal together we call the Last Supper. And here we are reminded of the sacrifice Jesus made for us, so that we too can go to heaven and be with God someday. That sacrifice was when he died on the cross, like the one you see. "Well, Grandma, what's in the box?" asks my granddaughter. I answer that the box is called the tabernacle, and Jesus is in there. "Can we open the box?" And I said, "I cannot, but we will at Mass." A few days later, we went to Mass, and they kept asking, "When will the box be opened?" And I said, "Wait and watch." And eventually the box was opened. And I said, "Now those who have prepared and have had their first communion will receive Jesus in a little piece of bread called the host." Jesus, I will remember you at the Last Supper, and you have given us a prescription for life.